Well, the world is obsessed with this guy, and you just don't get it. You know, I'm not here to judge, but I must admit even I got swept up in the Keanu craze. But for whatever reason, you find yourself just moments away from watching John Wick. And I personally think it's a movie worth watching, but if you just want the short and sweet so you can tune out and get your Candy Crush on, I'm here to help you out. Let's get to it. This is John Wick. He's hurt but alive. He watches a video of his wife on his phone, then he falls asleep. We jump to several days earlier. John's alive and having flashbacks of his wife. We learn she was sick and tragically died, and today's her funeral. John's old friend Marcus offers his condolences. That night, a package arrives. It's a dog. A letter from his dead wife. Says for him to make peace and just move on. John names the dog Daisy. Daisy and John go for a drive in his Mustang, and while getting some gas, some mobsters want to buy the car from John. He says no, and they threaten him before he drives away. That night, 2 men sneak into John's house and attack him, and then they make the worst mistake in cinematic history. They kill John Wick's dog. The mobsters steal his car and take it to a shop. The shop owner, Aurelio, recognizes the car and asks where they got it. Losif tells him, and Aurelio punches him in the face. Later, John goes to the shop, and Aurelio snitches on Losif faster than Disney ditched Hannah Montana. John goes home and breaks into his own basement to reveal a stash of weapons and gold coins. Mob boss Vigo talks to his son Losif and also punches him. Vigo explains that John Wick was a trained killer and earned a reputation as the boogeyman. Vigo calls John and tries to make peace, but John hangs up on him. Vigo sends 12 men to John's house, and John kills all of them with ease. A police officer knocks on the door and says there was a noise complaint. John says he's just sorting some things out, and the policeman is the smartest person in this movie and just nopes himself right the fuck out of that situation.
Good night, John.
Good night, Jimmy.
John calls a cleaning crew that gets rid of the body, while Vigo meets with Marcus and asks him to kill John Wick for $2 million. Marcus accepts, but just to be sure, Vigo hires a bunch of other people. John arrives at the Continental Hotel and meets some old friends, Perkins, and the hotel owner, Winston. Winston snitches on Losif faster than Loki betrays his brother. John goes to the club and murders the living shit out of everybody. But somehow Losif gets away. John goes back to the hotel to get stitched up, and that night Marcus sets his sniper on John until he sees someone enter the room. He fires a warning shot to alert John, and Perkins enters the room and tries to kill John.
Hey, John!
She reveals the bounty has been doubled to $4 million. John spares her life in exchange for information. She tells him that Vigo keeps most of his assets in a basement of a church. John knocks her out and leaves her with a guy named Harry. However, Perkins slips out of her cuffs almost immediately and kills Harry pretty quick. Meanwhile, John goes to that church and burns all of Vigo's money and files. Vigo learns of the fire, but before he can act, he gets attacked by John. During the fight, John gets knocked out. Vigo asks John why he's going through so much trouble over a dog. John tells him the dog was a gift from his dead wife and that Vigo can either give his son up or die with him. Vigo leaves John to be suffocated by his henchman. But best friend Marcus shoots the henchman from the next building and John escapes. John catches up to Vigo, and Vigo snitches on Losif faster than something clever. John heads to where Losif has been hiding and kills everybody again. Losif tries to escape but is finally caught and dealt with. Vigo learns of his son's death and that Marcus helped him, so he goes with Perkins to beat up Marcus and eventually kills him. Like a lot. Vigo calls John to taunt him before leaving the city. Perkins is waiting to ambush John, but Winston, the owner of the Continental Hotel, calls her and asks to meet. He tells her she broke the sacred rule of the hotel and her membership is terminated now. And then they kill her, like a lot. John finds Marcus's body and sets off to find Vigo. John finds the villains pretty easily and tries to ram into them with his car. Vigo tells Avi to kill John, only for John to ram into him with his car. Vigo and John fight in the rain. Vigo goes to stab John, and John says, "Nobody stabs John Wick but John Wick," and he stabs himself. John then takes a knife and stabs Vigo in the neck, leaving him to die. We cut back to our movie's opening scene. He finishes watching that video of his wife and wills himself to live. So he goes to a dog shelter, stitches himself up, and steals a pit bull. And that's a movie tied up in a neat little bow. Okay, now here's what's important. Every fight scene is awesome. So when you hear gunshots, pay attention. Or don't. If you don't like violence, do the exact opposite of that and just look somewhere else. And in case you're watching with someone who likes to talk, here's some pointers. Keanu Reeves did almost all of his own stunts for this movie. And he actually learned proper firearms and knife training and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube. It's kind of cool. The hotel manager's name is Sharon. And in Greek mythology, you have to pay Sharon for safe passage to the underworld. That's kind of some cool symbolism. Okay, lastly, this is more of a personal annoyance, but maybe you'll find it interesting. These dudes executing Perkins here, they're all standing on opposite sides of her to shoot her in the head. Just think about that. There like has to be a better way to execute someone that doesn't involve the risk of you just shooting your buddy, right? No? Am I wrong? I mean, it looks cool, I guess. Okay. Anyways, that should be enough to get you through this one. Again, I think you should actually watch this, but I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you what to say, hear, and pay attention to. If you find yourself saying yes to other action films you're not into, maybe I'll cover them on my channel. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you can. All of that means a lot to me, so it is really cool to see when people interact with these videos. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy.